Down to business now with Sarah. She's an astrophysicist, and these spectacular pictures last night, only 6 seconds.
Don't say spectacular either, they're awful.
Well, look, we're coming up to Halloween and Guy Fawkes night and God knows
it's
what.
It's the ultimate firework.
This is the ultimate rocket, this is. Yes, but it could have been more awful if anyone had been on board. And this is the point. I didn't realise that NASA now doesn't do this, and they subcontract this out.
Yeah, so this launch was actually done by Orbital Sciences, which is basically NASA has given, or the American government has given billions and billions of dollars to two companies, SpaceX and Orbital Sciences, to service the International Space Station, because since the space shuttle stopped flying into orbit in 2011, NASA's had no way of getting things into space other than the Russians, using very, very old technology and commercial partners. So this was a commercial partner last night. Part of the rocket was
very old technology, but the Russian spacecraft took off.
Actually, I'm about to say part of this rocket which exploded, though, was old Russian stuff. But it is fair to say that, yeah, the Russian one this morning, which has gone to service the International Space Station, that's technology which has been around since the 1960s, and it does work. But it's interesting, if you ever go and see a rocket launch, if you're ever lucky enough, it does just look like a firework. And these things happen. Space is a dangerous and risky business, and it's not to be unexpected that stuff like this does happen. It's just such a shame that for sort of companies such as Orbital Sciences, they're very new at doing this for NASA.
Yeah, it's not just about this explosion and losing food supplies, because NASA's saying that there's plenty of stock there. The astronauts who are on that space station, and indeed there's the Russian craft up to date, they'll be okay for a while as regards food. But there has been research lost, experimentation stuff lost as well.
Well, one of the most interesting things which is actually on board is there's a company known as Planetary Resources Limited. It's not even a joke, and their plan is to mine asteroids. There's enough wealth in the asteroid belt between the planet Mars and Jupiter to redefine wealth on Earth, so it would make everyone literally a billionaire per person. There's that much wealth in minerals. So the idea is Planetary Resources were sending up a special probe to go into orbit to start looking at potential candidate asteroids to mine. Yes, it does sound like something out of science fiction, and James Cameron, who even did a film called Avatar about mining other worlds, is involved with this company, and that probe was on there as well. It was kind of piggybacking on the back of this space rocket. So we've lost a lot of science. Around $200 million worth of stuff was on board. But I suppose this sort of stuff does happen. They are prepared for it. And I think compared to what has happened, I mean, 1986, nearly 30 years ago, the Challenger space shuttle exploded in a very similar explosion on the launch pad, and of course killed 7 astronauts, so at least nobody was hurt.
And we know that the partners that are involved in sending this up have warned people not to go out and collect any of the sort of debris as a sort of trophy, because it could be potentially hazardous. So what could that be, and what's so dangerous about it?
Well, the thing is, rocket fuel is pretty dangerous, and one of the reasons we actually launch near the coast a lot of the times is because the Earth spins from east to west, or is that right, from west to east even, so it spins that way round. So as you're launching, and this was from the east coast of Pennsylvania, you actually go over the sea, so you're getting most of that toxic material away from land, so it's the safest way to do it. So with any sort of rocket launch, there are going to be hazardous materials. Even if you go down to a launch pad a couple of days after a launch, you're not meant to touch anything. So it's to be expected. It's normal. It's not unusual for this sort of thing to happen, but of course, don't go near it, don't touch it.
It's not fuel. There's no fuel left. It blew up. All the fuel's
but the
gone.
Material inside.
It's probably things they don't want us to know about.
Don't say that.
Well, yes, the truth is out there somewhere. Have you ever seen a rocket launch? I'm just looking at some of the pictures that we had there, and the spectators standing back and seeing that. It must be an awesome sight.
I've been lucky, of course. I've seen a few rocket launches, but I was there for the final shuttle launch for the Atlantis in 2011. But it is literally like watching a firework. It is kind of actually a little bit underwhelming because you are so far away for safety, as you can see with what happened yesterday. You have to be far away, so the nearest you can get is around 3 kilometres, and it is just an incredible experience.
Okay, Sarah, thanks very much indeed. Thank you. Sarah Cruddas is a space expert and an astrophysicist. Thank you very much indeed.